Good morning. So let me welcome you to the second session of CRM, where we are going to discuss the presentation that we were discussing last week in detail for today as well. Right. Now, if you can recall, we were talking about the basic concepts of CRM and how the marketing concept evolved. And we said CRM is not a system but a philosophy. So as I very correctly mentioned to you during the last week, CRM should not be looked at as a system where the data will be inputted, analysis will be carried out, and there will be decisions taken. No, that is not the way to look at CRM. CRM has to be looked at as a philosophy where it is being practiced by every employee of the organization, and it is part of the culture of the organization. In a philosophy, we say philosophy is how we do things, the way we do our business. So in our business philosophy, the way we do our business, the center person should be the customer. And our aim of the business in doing our business is to build relationships with the customers, which we obviously say the profitable relationships, and generate profits out of it, and to keep the customer base active and safe in order to have profits and sustainable profits for the long years. So that has to be the concept. So CRM, remember, it's not an activity, it is not a process, but it is a philosophy. That's how the organization should look at. Now, in order to have this philosophy being practiced by the organization, you need to follow a process, and that we will discuss later. Right? So we discussed the Harvard Business School research done by Frederick Rishold and Earl Sazar, and there we found most of the time the increase in the existing retention ratio of a customer will certainly increase the profits by a bigger fold or bigger number, right? For example, the study showed little as 5% increase in the retention has an impact of high as 95% on the net present value delivered by customers. This is for advertising agencies. Lowest they found was for computer software, that is 35%. So that means if you increase the retention rate of customers, on the other side, profits will increase in several folds, in multiple folds. Right. Now, we talk about two types of cost for an organization. First, initial customer acquisition cost. Now, do you think getting a customer coming to your organization is an easy task? It is not, right? No, the first challenge any organization will face is to get customers coming to their shop, or in our case, to the bank or the financial institution. Now, although you exist in certain villages, certain places, do customers come to your bank automatically? Now, let's say that you go and establish a branch in some city. Do you think that the people around the city will just come into your branch? They will not. They will not. So you have to do some activity to make customers first visit your bank. First, read what you have given. Right? First, understand your product. So it is a challenge even to get a customer to visit your branch, at least to say what is happening here, hi to you. It is also a challenge. Now, what do you do as branch managers to get these people into your branch? Now, when you establish a new branch, you generally talk to the clients that you know, and then you will say, okay, can you help me to get some clients around the city? So generally in business cities, you will go and talk to few opinion leaders. You build relationships with them, right? And you tell them, okay, introduce me some new customers. So they will keep introducing you new customers. You as a manager has to go to them, talk to them, have a chat with them, and get them into your branch. Now that is a challenge. That is a challenge, right? So if you don't do this, don't expect customers to come into your branch without any invitation. They will not, right? Then on to the other side. Now, what is the mass campaigns you do? You say, okay, right, we are going to have a walking. Sorry, we are going to have a street campaign. Now, what do you do there? You take brochures, you take some leaflets, and you go around, and then you distribute it. Right? So you go to the houses, have a chat with them. Hi, how are you? I'm from this bank. Are you banking with us? Or what do you think about the products we have? These are the products. Why not you come to our bank? So you have a chat with them, and you invite them to come to your branch, right? So that is another way of doing it. So you go to the customers, street campaign, you distribute leaflets, go to their houses, have a chat and invite them to come. Or else you will meet people on the road, and then you can give your leaflets so that they will go through the leaflet, and the leaflet, if the leaflet is attractive and you are given some offers and you are given some good offerings for them, good package for them, then they think, okay, like, let me go to this bank and check out, right? So getting the customer is not easy, at least to visit your branch, right? Now, when he visits your branch, you also have to go through another process where you will make sure that he has a pleasant experience in meeting you, and then you have to get his details, right? Now, we know that you can't just open accounts, right? So you need to get his details. So you need to have a chat with him, and then you may have to ask him, give me this document. For example, give me your NIC copy, give me your billing proof, right? And then explain the procedure to open accounts and bank with your particular bank, and to explain the features of the products that you have, and to explain how he will get services. For example, if it is internet banking, how it operates, and how he should get enrolled, and what are the things he should do. Then explain him about the charges and convince him. It's no easy task, right? So explain him about the charges and convince him, and then get him to fill a mandate, right? Get him to fill the mandate. So once you fill the mandate, enter the data to the system, right? And then if you are taking a photograph, take photographs or whatever, and then issue the passbooks, PIN card. So this whole process takes a lot of man hours, time, and at the same time, it is a cost to the bank. It's a cost to the bank. So now you have enrolled him. Now, for you to get this particular customer from the neighborhood to visit your branch and get him into the bank, it is obviously a cost. Obviously a cost. And it is a very difficult task, because don't think every customer will come and just join your bank. Now, if that is the case, you can open a bank in any city and get all the customers in the city. No? Are you getting them? You're not getting. So it is difficult for you to convince and open an account. Other people have their own choices, right? So getting them into the bank is the most difficult task, I would say. So once they get into the bank, you have already incurred a cost. That is your advertising cost, your man hours, your computer space. So you have spent this cost. Now, this customer comes into your bank, and then how are you getting profits out of him? First, you need to get revenue out of him, right? So how do you get revenue out of him? He will start banking with you. He will first start depositing money with you, and then subsequently he might go for a current account, or he might go for a facility, right? So likewise, he will develop with you. So with every development, with every interaction with him, you will thereafter see how you will earn money from the client, right? Now, it is a cost. There is a cost to maintain the client as well, right? Now, to maintain the client, you need to maintain the relationship, right? You need to send him letters, you need to send him information, you need to give him a call and have a chat, right? And sometimes for his birthday, for his special occasions, you might have to send some flowers or some gifts. So there's a cost to maintain, and you have allocated your space for him. Sometimes you may mark facilities, sometimes you may mark certain limits where you have to keep aside certain amount of money for him as a limit, right? For example, a OD, permanent OD limit, or a credit card facility, even if he doesn't utilize, there is some contingent liability being generated, right? So once you get a customer, there's a cost to maintain him also, right? To send him statements, answer his inquiries. Now call center has to give him clarifications. Now these are all costs. But what you should understand is that when a customer stays with your bank for a longer time, the customer will get used to your system, will get used to your way of handling him, will get used to your charges, the structures, and the procedures, and the cost of maintaining the client will reduce. For example, when you join your bank, he might give you several calls to ask how this is happening, why it is happening, why this charge. He will call you, but then after some time, once he realizes your system, then he will not. So obviously, the cost of maintaining a client will go down, because he will be you will be able to convince him in a very shorter period of time, and you may not have to spend so much of time in convincing him in selling your other products, right? So you can cross sell your products very easily to the customer. You don't have to spend so much of time trying to establish a relationship, trying to convince him about your bank, convince him about your service, because he's already with you, right? So the research has shown the initial cost of acquiring a client is high, but over a lifetime of client, this cost will gradually reduce, and you will find, and managing an existing customer is so easy. So you may have experienced this in your practical scenario as well. Some of your very old clients, when they come to your branch, they are like friends, right? So they don't shout at you when you do a mistake, or they don't shout at you even if they have to stay in a queue. They will enjoy talking to you, and then you don't have to worry too much about them. They will take the forms, they will fill it, and you don't have to explain how to fill, and they will give it. And then if they want a facility, they come and say, I want this facility, and they will not ask about the stability of the bank and so many questions. They will just take whatever the products you offer with a very low effort, right? So because they are now convinced about your service, they are now convinced about your bank, right? So therefore, it was found that initial acquiring cost is high, but during the lifetime it will reduce. At the same time, you have to always understand the initial customer acquisition cost need to be looked at as an investment, and its investment can be divided into several years based on the lifetime that the customer will bank with you, right? So if you have spent let's say 5,000 rupees to acquire a client at the initial stage, and if he stays with 1 year, okay, per year cost is 5,000, and if he stays 2 years, per year cost is 2,500. If he stays 10 years, per year cost is only 500 rupees. So the initial acquisition cost can be divided among the number of years that he has stayed with your bank, and that will certainly help to reduce the investment or the cost in acquiring a client, and then increase the profit out of him. So the next one, you need to understand profitability of a client over a period of time will increase, right? So the studies done by consultants such as McKinsey have shown that repeat customers generate over twice as much as the revenue that your normal customers will generate, right? The normal customers will generate. So because the existing customers, the amount of transactions that they will do with you, and the amount of volumes that they will deposit with you is much higher than a new customer who is having a doubt in banking with you. New customer is always with a doubt. මේ බැංකුව හරියයිද, මේකේ මට සර්විස් එක හම්බ වෙයිද, මේකේ කොස්ට් එක හරිද, මම වැඩිපුර ගෙවනවද, මේ මිනිස්සු මාව රවට්ටයිද? There are a lot of doubts. So they will not put their all money into you the initial, right? So they will gradually bring in their facilities and money deposits to you. So over a period of time, it will increase, right? Now, what will happen over a period of time when a customer stays with you? There will be a reduction in cost of service in the client. Now, why this reduction? Why this reduction? Because now customer is aware about your bank. So therefore, you will not have to increase, you don't have to incur a lot of time in explaining things, convincing the customer, right? And giving him rewards to attract him, because he is already with you. Increase in profits to repeat business. Now, when a customer comes to you, you have already incurred a cost in acquiring him, and now he is continuously coming to you. For example, he has deposited a little amount of money and has opened an account with you. Now he has diverted his salary, right? Now he has taken a credit card. Now he has opened a current account, and the current account also has a balance where you have a deposit interest free, right? And then okay, the customer is now remitting money. Now customer, then let's say the customer has grown up with his income, with his employment, and now he has excess money. Now he's putting FDs. Now he has his house being built. Now he's taking housing loan. Now over a period of time, he will come to you repeatedly for business, and as a result of that, your profit from that particular client will increase over the lifetime, over the period of time that he stays with you. Then the third factor is that increase in profits through cross-selling. Now, this is an important part to any banker that is looking at customer relationship management. See, I would always say the cross-selling will help you in two ways. One is that cross-selling helps you to get more products and to get profits. Second, cross-selling helps you to keep the client with you without giving an opportunity to the competitor to grab him away. Now, let me tell you a simple example. Once I faced a situation, a particular bank which was not issuing credit cards. The relationship manager is going to a bank and then meeting executives. He's telling, I will introduce you clients, you issue credit cards for my clients. Right? Now this particular bank is a local bank. The relationship manager that I am talking to you belongs to a foreign bank. Now this relationship manager who is managing their clients in the foreign bank is approaching this local bank which is doing really well in cards, which is having very good card products and offers, to give cards to their clients. Now this is very peculiar, right? You don't go and talk to another bank and get a product of another bank to your client. But apparently this foreign bank is not issuing credit cards. This particular foreign bank is not issuing credit cards to their customers. The product is not there. Right? So then once this relationship manager was asked, okay, see, you belong to this particular foreign bank. You are coming to this local bank and asking credit cards for your clients, and you are bringing their application, you do everything for them, and you even deliver the card. Now, what is the reason? What is the reason? Then, okay, without telling the reason, can I ask any one of you who is here, Sampika, Dilan, Karya Peruma, Karunaratna, Sachin, and Thayaparan, do you have any idea why this relationship manager in that foreign bank, which does not issue cards, is approaching this particular local bank and getting credit cards from this particular local bank, which is doing really well in cards and having offers, to their clients, and putting this much of effort to do that? Any idea? Any idea? Can any one of you think of this particular behavior and tell me why do you think that they are doing it? Why do you think that particular relationship manager is doing it?
It's kind of a customer relationship. It means the confidence building.
Okay, so Thaparan is saying that it's about confidence building. Is it only confidence building, Thaparan, or something else?
Kind of a value-added service that we don't offer, but anyway, we are doing beyond the line, and we are canvassing through other bank. Then customer will think, okay, this person always stands for me, and he will, always give a trustable service for him.
Right.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, so that's a good evaluation. Anyone else who has an idea why they are doing it? I hope everyone can hear what Tayaparan is telling, right? Everyone can hear the conversation. If you are not comfortable in talking, can you put me a chat note on that? Sachin, you are there? Sachin, are you online? There's no response. I get one chat. Yes, Sachin. Sachin, did you hear what Tayaparan said? Okay, so I think everyone can hear what Tayaparan says. Right. So I would invite all of you to participate. Right. So let's have a chat here. There's no right or wrong answers. Anyone else? But what Tayaparan said is one aspect of it. But there was a different aspect there. The answer of that particular relationship manager was something else. Anyone who can predict what the answer was? What he said?
Retention of customer.
Sorry?
Customer retention.
Customer retention.
Yeah.
So why he is trying to go to another bank and get a credit card for his client? He's taking a lot of trouble. No? He's going to another local bank, right? And getting a card, trying to get cards for their clients. Yes. Now Sachin has put a chat note. It broadens the choice of product and services and builds customer equity. Yeah, that's another way of looking at it, but it was not the answer. Anyone else who wants to try? Champika and Dylan, both of you are very silent. You can put a note, right, or speak to me. Right. Anyone else? All right, okay. So let me tell you what he said. He said, now we are a foreign bank. They are a foreign bank. And now this particular foreign bank is not issuing cards to their clients, right? Because they don't have that product. Now, the people who are banking with them are people who are used to bank with foreign banks. But despite this particular bank does not have credit cards being issued, there are other foreign banks who issue credit cards. Now, you can imagine banks like, for example, Deutsche Bank or Citibank, which is operating in Sri Lanka, but they do not offer credit cards to the clients, right? But you also find foreign banks like HSBC and Standard Chartered who offer credit cards to the clients. Right? Now, I just gave you an example. Now imagine this particular foreign bank is someone a bank like Deutsche Bank or the Citibank. Now they don't offer cards to the clients, so the customers who are banking with them are used to bank with foreign banks, and there's a higher tendency that if they lose the client will go to another foreign bank, not to a local bank. I agree. Now the customers who are banking with a foreign bank generally would like to bank with them, and if they lose the relationship, they go to another foreign bank. And there's a higher chance that a foreign bank as a competitor capture these clients banking with these foreign banks. Now, at the same time, they found some other foreign bank, for example, HSBC, Standard Chartered, issuing credit cards and providing similar services that they provide as a foreign bank. Now, this particular customer who will say, now I don't have a credit card, I would like to get the benefits of a credit card. If they say, okay, go to HSBC, go to Standard Chartered, or go to any other bank, we don't have it, what will happen? If the customer goes to say HSBC or Standard Chartered, which are also foreign banks, there's a high tendency that they will lose their other portfolio also if those banks provide a better service and grab the client. Understand? Now, the client is going to get a credit card, they are giving a good service, and then if they approach him with a better facility, then there's a higher chance the customer will take the facilities also to that particular bank, and this particular foreign bank will lose everything, lose the client, right? But if this client goes to a local bank, what will happen? Now, these clients are people who deal with foreign banks, they are not willing to deal with local banks. So if they go to a local bank, they will get the facility, credit card facility, and they will use the credit card, but they will certainly not take their deposits and the facilities to local banks. Now, this is the psychology they have identified. So he said, I don't mind my client getting a credit card from your local bank, and because your local bank offers very good offers as well, so let him take the card. I'm fine with it, and I will in the middle coordinate and give him the fullest service by coordinating with your bank. But I don't want my customer to go to a foreign bank and take a card, because I know that can be the start of me losing the entire portfolio. This is what he said. This is what he said. Very good thinking, right? Isn't it? Now, if what he was thinking is he goes to that extent to protect his client. He knows a good relationship manager or a good customer relationship program only needs a customer to come to their bank at only once. They know how to cross-sell. They know how to grab the customer. And that will be the end of the relationship. So I would say cross-selling. Now our subject that we were discussing is cross-selling, right? Increase profits through cross-selling. So I would say cross-selling will increase certainly profits. But at the same time, if you don't do cross-selling, it's like you are having a house and you are going on a picnic, locking the door and keeping the windows open so that the burglar can come in to creep into your house through a window, although you have locked your door. So you have to close all the windows as well. All the windows as well, right? So if you get a customer to come to your bank with a savings account, then if he has a requirement, you need to offer him a current account as well. Don't let any other bank to do that. And give him a credit card. Give him a facility. Right? Now, look after the client. Whenever he has a need, your bank has to be there. If he, by any chance, goes to another bank, at least for one or two products, it's just like that can be the start of the doom. That can be the start of the end of your relationship. So a good branch managers, a good relationship managers make sure that they cross-sell the products of their organizations to meet all the requirements of the client, banking requirements of the clients, in order to make sure that he remains with you and competitors have no chance. So they are people who close all the windows of the house and do not keep at least one window open for a competitor to creep in and take your client away. Right? So in customer relationship management, this is another good lesson for you to remember. Cross-selling, not only to earn profits, obviously all of us know cross-selling will generate profits, but on the other side, cross-selling also safeguards and improves the retention of your client. Now, another way to look at it is that when your customer has only one account, it is very easy for the customer to close it and go away. But if he is having a savings account, current account, facility, housing loan, credit card, all these, if he decides to go away, it's not an easy task. He has to settle the facilities, settle the credit cards, cancel the cards, cancel the current account, then close the savings. So it's not an easy thing for him to do just to go away. But if he's having only one account, it's just a simple matter, 1 minute, right? He will just move away. So more the products that he has, more the relationships, more the links, then there is a higher tendency that the customer will stay with you rather than trying to close all his relationship and go to another bank, right? So remember this. This is very important in terms of customer retention for you to know. Then the fourth factor, that the benefit that you will get with the relationship is increase in profits through upselling. Now, I think I discussed with you last week, upselling is totally different from cross-selling. Now, cross-selling is like that you have a savings account and you canvas him a current account, you canvas him a personal loan. Now, that is cross-selling. Upselling is that you canvas him something of higher value, higher price for him to take rather than what he has already. Now, a classic example can be given from the credit card arena. Now, when you say credit cards, you have these silver cards, right? Silver cards, classic, we say classic card, silver card, regular card, that is the silver color cards, right? These are the starting card types that we have. So silver cards can be offered to a client and the pricing is also low. For example, I would say the average pricing is about 1,500 rupees in the industry, or 1,000 rupees in the industry, let's say 1,000 rupees. Now, let's say a customer of you is having a classic card or a silver card for 1,000 rupees. Now, he pays every year 1,000 rupees as the annual fee. Right? Now, over a period of time, when he banks with you, when he uses his card, you see that he's a good user and he has a good limit. Now he is convinced about your service. Now you can offer him a gold card. Now gold card, I would say the average price range goes around 2,000 rupees. Now you will call and say, sir, thank you for staying with us for a long time. And now we would like to offer you a gold card, which has a higher prestige, higher value, right? Higher benefits. So why not you take the gold card and you can pay the higher price. Right? So the customer will pay 2,000 rupees and will take the gold card and enjoy the higher benefits with it. Then after some time, you can offer him a platinum card. So likewise, you are now offering a higher priced product to the client over a period of his relationship. Right? So this can be done to other products as well. Right? Now, for example, even debit cards. He's having a normal debit cards. Now you issue him a debit card platinum. Right? And so he may be a normal client of you, but he's having a lot of deposit. You upgrade him to a priority circle, low priority customer, as a priority customer. So now he's banking with you. He's getting the same services or higher, little bit of a higher value additions, and he's paying more to your bank. So this is called upselling. Sell a higher priced product and give him a higher value at a higher price. Now that is also possible with the relationship. So now we have looked at 4 aspects: reduction in cost of service in the client, increase in profits through repeat business, increase in profits through cross-selling, increase in profits through upselling. Now, these factors will help to increase the profitability over the lifetime of the client that he stays with you. So profitability will continue to increase. Cost will continue to go down. So you have learned in the previous slide, the cost of servicing a client will go down. Profitability will increase. Profitability will increase. So obviously retention is a profitable business to be. Now, okay, so we are clear now. Studies done by consultants such as McKinsey have shown that repeat customers generate over twice as much gross income than new customers. Now, when you talk about CRM, if someone asks you what is the aim of the CRM, what is the goal of the CRM, I would say the goal of the CRM is to convert a prospect into an advocate. Prospect into an advocate. We will learn this in detail later. But who is a prospect? Prospect is a customer who has no idea about your products, but who is an eligible customer to bank with you. For an example, you would say, okay, he is a customer who is earning about 30,000 to 40,000 per month, and he is eligible to take a credit card. He's a customer who is earning about 50,000 per month, a professional, and he is eligible to take a professional loan. Now, these people are eligible. These people are customers, potential customers, although they are not banking with you. Now, these are prospects. But the difference is, or the difficult or the most crucial thing here is that these prospects doesn't know about the products you have. The prospects are there, but these prospects doesn't know the products you have or the benefits you can give to them. So as a result of that, they are not banking with you till now. So they are prospects, they are potential. There are products for them, but they have not come and obtained a product, or they have not come and opened an account with you. Now, the reason can be the lack of information, lack of advertising, or lack of communication to these prospects, or the prospects are not properly convinced. There can be several reasons for this. So the first task is to get these prospects to join in as customers. Now, customer is a person who has opened a relationship with you, who has started a relationship. Now, first challenge is to get these prospects to start a relationship and become customers. Right. Now, that is what you see here. Now, the second challenge is to convert them to become an advocate. Now, advocate is a person who will go around and talk about your bank positively. So they will say to the people that they know, the friends, relatives, the associates, their colleagues, they say, okay, this particular bank is superb. I'm getting a superb service. They have these products. Why don't you go and try? And if you see anybody who's having a requirement, for example, there's a newborn baby and he goes to see him and the parents say, now we have to open an account for our child. He'll say, okay, don't go anywhere. Go to this particular bank. I am banking with them. They are superb. So what your bank has to do in using your marketing communication and going to that particular customer, the advocate will do. Because he is talking good about your bank and convincing others to come to your bank. And he's playing an active role, not a passive role. So the aim of the relationship management is to convert these prospects who have no idea about your bank, who has not banked with you, who has no idea about your products, to people who are banking with you, who are having all your products and then enjoying your relationship, and then at the same time go and canvas others to come to your bank and advocate or basically talk about your bank positively. So prospects to be converted to advocates. Now this is the aim of the relationship management or the CRM. Okay? So we'll learn about the customer loyalty ladder later, but I would say a branch manager should be an expert of this particular concept. He should see how he get prospects to become customers and how he can convert his customers to client, to a supporter, to advocate. Right? So we'll learn it later when we talk about the loyalty. So we said the relationship management is all about the philosophy and it is a process. Right? It the process of building and maintaining profitable customer relationships by delivering superior customer value and satisfaction. Now, to do that, you have to follow certain steps. Now, once you follow these certain steps and then make it part of the culture of the organization, then it becomes the philosophy of the organization and the people who operate in the organization, how they do business. Now, let us look at the simple steps that we have to follow. We will discuss this in detail. Now, CRM is more reliant on information, data, because your whole exercise in CRM is to influence the behavior of the customers. Now, for you to influence the behavior of the customers, you need to know their behavior patterns. You need to have their information. So once you have information, data about the customers, you can understand them and influence their behavior. Otherwise, you can't. Right? So the first step, the basic step, or the base, or the most important thing in CRM is to gather data and analyze information about your customers to better understand your customers and their behavior patterns. So always remember, if you understand the behavior only, you can influence the behavior. For example, even if it is the practical example, even if you take that now when you were very young people, perhaps you are young now. Now let's say that you want to attract a girlfriend. Now what do? You can't just go to her and talk. First thing you do is you find out the information, what she likes, what she doesn't like. Okay? Now, if she is a vegetarian, you going and giving her a beef burger will never attract her. Right? So you first have to understand whether that particular partner or the girl or the boy, what that person likes, right? And what that person, where that person likes to go, right? And what are the hobbies, what are the things that they say they like and don't like. Now, if you have this information, then you will be able to approach your partner properly and get a positive result. If not, you will get a negative result, because you might go and antagonize, or you might go and make the person angry in trying to attract the person. So it is a simple fact that all of you know as young adults and have seen, right? So therefore, the same principles are there for customers as well. If you want to attract a customer, you have to know about the customer, what he knows, what he likes, what he doesn't like, what type of personality he has, right? What is his primary focus in looking at a deal? What is his background? What is his cultural background? What is his social background? Right? What is his professional background? What are his hobbies? What are the sports he likes? Right? And what is his transaction patterns? What is his behavior to visit the bank? What is his electronic behavior? How frequently he uses delivery channels? What delivery channels he use? Is he an internet savvy person? Is he using ATM too much? Is he calling to the call center all the time? So this information is required for you to influence the behavior of the customer. If you don't have this information, it's like you go and give a beef burger to a vegetarian. So you are giving it with a good intention. You are giving a burger, spending a lot of money to make the person happy. But what will be the result? The person will get really angry with you. Why? Because you have given something that the person hates, person doesn't like, right? So you have to understand the person, and it's not the value of your gift or the effort that you put or your intention that matters. What matters is what you give is valued by the other party. What you give is valued by the other party. If what you give is not valued by the other party, it doesn't matter whether what you give. It doesn't matter what you give. Right? Now, for example, for a monkey will value a plantain than a gem. So you spending money and giving him a gem will not make the monkey happy. Monkey will be happy when you give a plantain. Right? Similarly, so you have to understand what the customer wants and give that, not what you think is good and valuable, right? So for that, you need to gather and analyze information about your customers to better understand them and their behavior patterns. Now, how can we gather information? What are the ways to gather information? Can you guys or girls tell me the different ways to gather information? Right. What are the ways to gather information? Tell me few things, the simple ones.
From discussion.
Sorry?
From discussion.
So I didn't get you. Can you repeat again, please?
From discussion, sir.
Discussions. Yeah, discussions with the client. Now the clients come to you and you will have face-to-face discussions, right? So you need to have a face-to-face discussion, gather information, right? Oh, that is one way of doing it. And let me ask you a simple question. Now you have gathered information, you have had a discussion. How do you make sure that information is passed to others in the bank? Now, for example, let's say that your bank is having about 300 branches. Now you are in a one branch, you had a discussion with the customer, you have gathered information, right? So you know about the customer. Now this particular customer, let's say he is in Kurunagala, he goes to your Kurunagala branch, and you know the Kurunagala branch, the officers, the manager knows him very well. He has had a discussion, get information. But now he is going to a branch in, let's say, Colombo branch. Suddenly he has come to Colombo to do some businesses, goes to Colombo branch. Now, how do you think the Colombo branch guy will know about him?
Actually, you have to maintain customer details centrally.
Customer details centrally. So that is an important thing that I want to get in. Now remember, gathering information is not enough. Information need to be stored in such a way that your network or the branches or the people who are handling in the front line will be able to access that information. So there has to be two types of things that we need in relationship management. One is ways to gather information. Second is ways to store information and provide access to the front line or the people who are dealing with customers to get information, they get insights about the customer by looking at the already gathered information. Okay, what are the other ways? Now he said discussions. Now that is possible when a customer meets you or comes to you face to face to your branch. What are the other ways?
Analyzing customers' financial transactions, fast financial transactions.
Right, super fast financial transactions. Now you can see, okay, what is the average amount of deposit he will pays for a month, right? Is he a salaried person? Okay, what is the amount of salary that he receives per month, right? Or is he a lawyer or a doctor who's engaged in self-employed professions? So what is his average income per month, right? And then how many times he withdraw, from where, right? What is his per attempt withdrawal amount? So there are people who withdraw in different ways, right? Some people 10,000, some people 3,000 per time. So what is his pattern? How many times he visits the bank, right? What is his preferred method, delivery method? ATMs or internet banking? What is his preferred one? So by looking at his past transactions, you can have an idea about the customer. Right? You can have an idea about the customer, and sometimes you will get some insights to cross sell. Right? Am I right? So for example, you see a person who's sending you a salary of about 100,000 every month. Now, if he's sending you 100,000 every month, and if you look at his average balance is about like 30,000 positive credit balance. That means he's a person who's having cash. He's having an average balance of 30,000 every month, and he's getting an inflow of 100,000. So highly potential customer for what? For a personal loan, for a credit card. So you look at the data, you analyze the data, and you can get information, insights about the customer, and that insights can be used to cross-sell or upsell products. What are the other ways? How can you gather other information gathering? Tamanathin. There are several other ways. Now, another very easy thing is to do a research, right? Easy thing you didn't tell, right? Doing a research is not easy, but easiest thing. So you do a research, right? So you do a research to see, okay, what is the customer satisfaction level? Right? Do a research and see the requirements of your clients and or response of your clients to certain products. Right? And do a research and see what your competitors do. So research is another method where you can gather information. So we will be in the course talking about research in a one session, right? So different types of research, desk research and field research, and how to conduct a research. We will talk about that. Then another way is to look at your call center, right? So from the call center also you can gather a lot of information, right? And those information can be used for the bank. Another way is to allow customers to send their suggestions and complaints. Right? So by looking at those suggestions and complaints, you can understand how the customers feel about your services and what type of improvements that you need to do. That will reduce a gap and reduce the knowledge gap. Right? So we'll talk about gap model in future, whereas how the service is delivered and what is being delivered and what the customer expectation, how the gaps are created. So we'll discuss it very soon. So these are methods, right? From branch, face to face, right? Discussions, giving some forms, then suggestions and complaints, call center, then analyzing data, looking at ATM statistics, internet banking statistics, current account, savings account, behavior patterns. Right? So analyzing existing data, and then what else we talked about, and doing a research. These are methods to gather information. So now when we discuss this, you have found that I explained you, once you get data, how you can influence the behavior and what are the things that you can do. Right. Then we say, convert information into intelligence. Convert information into intelligence. Now, what is intelligence? That is the know-how, right? That is the understanding about the customer. So, whatever the data you gather, you have to process it, identify the patterns, trends, right? And then convert it into intelligence to understand the customer better and devise strategies. Devise strategies to what? To do what? To influence the behavior of the customer. Influence the behavior of the customer and make sure that behavior is converted to a positive behavior towards your bank. That is, that what he say, what he do will become positive to you. Right? Now, behavior is all about that, no? Behavior is all about what you say and what you do. Right? So, if you influence the behavior of the customer to say good about you, and if you influence the behavior of the customer to do profitable things to you, that is, take facilities from you, deposit more with you, right, and take your services, that behavior will certainly reward you over a period of time with profits. So it's all about influencing the behavior, and to influence the behavior, you have to gather data, process and get information, and then convert information into intelligence and use those intelligence to influence the behavior of the client to make it positive to you. Identify clients with whom relations should be built and how. Now, that is also another thing to do. Why? Because we said customer relationship management is not just making customers happy and then losing money. Now, that is some people think that. Now they think customer relationship is all about making them happy, giving them rewards, having parties, giving them gifts. Now, that is about customer relationship. So end of the day, you have earned 10,000 from the customer and you have given gifts for 20,000. So you are having a good relationship, but relationship which is actually losing money. Right? So this is, now in business we are not talking about that type of relationships, but in personal lives we may have. We might have relationships with our relatives, friends, family, or with our girlfriends, boyfriends, where we lose money, right? Where we lose money, we spend for them and we don't get anything back, and we might lose money. But in business, that's not the case. In business, the relationships should generate money. Right? So you have to spend. That is true. I don't say you don't have to spend. You have to spend, but you have to earn more than what you spend. Right? So perhaps in the short run or in the long run. But equation should be a positive one where the organization has generated profits. Right? So therefore, it is paramount important that you understand and identify clients with whom relationships should be built, and those relationships should be profitable relationships. And at the same time, you must also find out how to build relationships with your clients and devise strategies for that. Right. Then the next one, develop systems to build and maintain relationships with identified clients. Develop systems to build and maintain relationships with identified clients. Now, what is this? Now, most of the organizations think that the client relationship is try to handle client relationship in silos. For example, there's a customer that the branch wants to handle him within the branch. So the branch manager thinks, okay, this customer is mine, I will handle this branch relationship. Perhaps your card center is trying to handle the relationship separately. Or your treasury may be handling separate relationship with him. Or your corporate credit or corporate banking is handling a separate relationship with the customer. So in organization context, there is no central way of handling relationship. So sometimes, now for example, he will call the card center and say, give me a limit increase. Card center will say, no, I can't give you a limit increase because your usage is less. Then he might say, then look at my relationship with you at the corporate credit, at the credit. I have had millions of facilities. Now you are declining my limit increase. I don't want to stay with your bank. Now we have heard about these type of conversations several times from almost all bankers. The biggest problem is that most of the banks or the financial institutions have their systems and departments who try to handle the customers in silos, isolated. You can't handle like that. You have to have a centrally managed customer relationship management module, which will gather information from all the systems from all interactions of the client, and whoever that access to this CRM will have centrally, or whoever that access the system have the right to access the system, will be able to find out the entire relationship of this customer with the bank. So developing such systems are paramount important when you are handling customer relationships, so that it doesn't matter whether he goes to the Jaffna branch, whether he goes to the Colombo branch, whether he goes to your treasury, corporate banking, whether he goes to your card center, wherever, everybody will look at the client in a similar way, because all of them have access to the customer history, customer relationship, the customer assets, liabilities, and his credibility and the behavior pattern. So if you want to be successful in CRM, you have to develop systems that will help you to build and maintain relationship with identified clients. Now these systems are now available. There are a lot of CRM systems developed by IBM and several other computer giants. So you will be able to understand these systems if you log into the website and search for CRM systems. They will give you enough systems, and you can understand different types of CRM systems that these people use and the benefits of those. So sometimes they are very technical, but still I would say that if you are interested, just go and have a look, so that you will have an idea as to why it is important and what those systems can do. Right. Next one in the process is to convert relationships into profits. Now, as I told you, having relationships is good, but you must always convert relationships into profits. Now, how do you convert relationships into profits? By by cross-selling, by upselling, or by having more business with the customer, increasing the share of wallet. Now, share of wallet is another concept, whereas the wallet of the customer can be distributed among several banks, but to make sure that the share of the wallet, more share of the wallet is given to you, right? So if he is having an income, more income should be given to your bank in terms of loan repayment or in terms of deposits. So convert relationships into profits. Now, that is the main name of CRM. The CRM is not PR, right? So don't think CRM is PR, public relations, right? So where you enjoy, have a party and go, that is not CRM. CRM is always build a relationship. Yeah, you can have a party, you can spend money, you can give him gifts, you can take him to dinner, but end of the day, convert relationship into profits. The next one is that when you implement the CRM process, you have to measure the results, monitor the progress, review what you do, and refine. Refine means make it better, make it better. So this continuous measuring, monitoring, reviewing, and improving is required in order for you to keep your CRM program active and more tailor-made and better to your bank and to your customers. Okay. So if you really look at the process, we can put this process into these 6 steps to say, okay, this is how you improve or and try to achieve CRM system into your bank. But there will be a separate program for you, a separate session for you on implementation of CRM as to how you should manage the change, because you need, once you implement this as a philosophy, you are changing the whole thinking pattern of your people and your organization, and that change, how you manage, need to be looked at by analyzing the change management principles. So let's talk about it later during our sessions. Now, another important factor with regard to the CRM is the success of CRM largely depends on quality of your customer database. Now, as I told you, for you to influence the behavior of the customer, it is important that you have information, data about the customer. So you need to have a quality database. Now, quality database is a database which has accurate information, updated information about the customer. So it has to be a reliable database where you have updated information. And if you have such a database, that can be used to get customer intelligence, right? And also those databases can be used using the latest technology like artificial intelligence. Now, another very popular thing with regard to CRM is that most of the people say CRM is nothing to do with the branch managers or people. It is all about IT. Now, I totally disagree with this. Now, if you think that CRM is IT's job and we have nothing to do, you are sadly mistaken. Okay? And I would say CRM is a philosophy that need to be followed, and CRM is job of everyone. And it is not only IT's job, but obviously IT has a huge role to play, a vital role to play, right? Because as we know, if you have about 5 or 6 customers, all of you can keep information about those 5 or 6 customers and do things. Now you are a branch manager of a particular branch and you have about 8 to 10 customers. Now if you have about 8 to 10 customers of your branch, you will know them individually, right? You will know them by their name. You will know their families. You will be able to serve them in a super manner, personalized, right? But this customer base will increase. That will become 16, 20, 30, 40, 50. Now, still you may be able to handle, but now it becomes 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. Now, how do you remember? Now you can't. So when you have a little amount of customers, smaller base, sometimes you as a human being can handle things very effectively without the support of IT. But when your base becomes bigger, then you have to go for a manual register, which is time consuming. And the most efficient thing is to have a IT support. Now, for example, when the IT is not there, there were branch managers who write about their customers on a book. So they write this particular customer's name and they have information about the customer. So at any given time, if they want to know about the customer, they have to search this particular book and then they will remember, okay, what are the incidents they had and all the history of the customer. Now that is a very manual, time-consuming affair. But you will not be able to do it for 1,000, 2,000 customers, obviously. Right? So how do you handle 1,000, 2,000 or perhaps 5,000, 6,000 customers? Now that is by getting the support of IT. So you need to have IT support to maintain a database, at the same time to have analytical tools, right? And filtering methods, whereas you will be able to generate reports, you'll be able to generate gather information by using the analytical tools and reports rather than trying to remember everything or having manual registers to approach clients. So now you get your clients and you want to know about, let's say, silver. You don't remember silver, but you have some idea about silver, but you don't remember everything. You just type silver's information and here you get the information. And by looking at the updated information about the silver, you can talk to him very easily. So IT plays a key role in gathering data, storing data, giving you support in terms of reports and generating the required information. Yes, it is vital, but it is not CRM. It is just a support. It is just a support that is being given to you. CRM is a bigger concept. CRM is a bigger philosophy, and IT is the supporter. IT is the supporter. Right? So don't look at the supporter and say this is CRM. No. With or without IT, you can do CRM. But when you have IT, you can do it better. You can do it efficiently. You can do it more effectively. That's how we will look at it. So don't think CRM is IT's job. It's something to do with IT. No, it's something to do with us. It's something to do with the manager, something to do with the organization, something to do with every one of you. And IT is supporting it. Right. So, having said that, we say CRM is based on the assumption that better customer knowledge makes for higher profits. CRM is based on the assumption that better customer knowledge makes for higher profit. This is achieved through gathering, analyzing, and use of customer data such as master data, transaction data, and soft facts. Example, interest and hobbies. Effectiveness of your CRM efforts will largely depend on the quality of your database. Now, this is the crux of the thing. Right? So you can see the customer is here, and you have to gather customer information. So you can get information from the customer from website, from email, from internet banking. Right? You get information about the customer from call center. You get information about the customer when you meet him on the field. You get information about the customer through your partners, right? And you gather customer information. Now this is your customer database, right? And then you do your analytics. Now that is done at the back office. You do your analytics, and then you do your marketing strategies. You develop your marketing strategies. Right? So for you to run this whole process, now this process says your marketing strategies or the marketing efforts are dependent on customer information. Your analysis should be supported by customer information, and in order to do that, you need to get information of the customer and the data by going to the interaction spaces, right? Like from where you get the information, right? So you gather these information and then you do this. So CRM says better customer knowledge is what helping you to generate profits. So better the knowledge you have about the customer, better the strategies, better the marketing efforts, more focused is the marketing efforts. So if the knowledge about the customer is there, easy for you to influence the behavior, right? So that is why we talk so much about quality databases. Now, for you to have a quality database, I always say you must have reliable information. Reliable information are updated information. Now, most of the banks, the biggest problem we have is that we have information, but we do not know whether those are updated information because we do not update information regularly, although we gather it at the time of opening the account. So there are customers who have opened accounts 10 years back, but we still know them as we still have the 10-year back data. So if you ask, get information about this client, you might say, okay, school leaver or trainee, because 10 years back he was a trainee, 10 years back he was a school leaver, 10 years back his average income is 10,000 rupees. But today it is totally different. Maybe he is a manager or an executive or a businessman, right? Or business person. So remember, having data is of no use if you have not updated those data. So therefore, in CRM, it is said you have to continuously update data and keep your database accurate, database reliable, so that your analytics will become better, so that your marketing efforts will become better. If you have obsolete database, obsolete database with no reliable information, then your analytics will be wrong, your marketing efforts will not be focused. Make a CRM one of the key points is to make a important, get accurate data about the customer. දැන් අපි මෙච්චර කතා කරා about information. We talked about information, and remember you have to convert information into business intelligence. නැත්නම් වැඩක් නැහැ. Information business intelligence වලට හරවන්න බැර නම් පොඩ්ඩක්වත් වැඩක් නැහැ. Right? Now this is a story about this famous story in marketing, right? There is this person who went to a particular village representing a shoe company, and he came and said, no one in this particular village is wearing shoes, therefore there is no potential, no point going to this village. There was another person who has been sent to this village who went there and came back and said, no one in the village is wearing shoes, so we have a higher chance of going into the village and getting everyone to use shoes and buy shoes from us. So both of them got information right. Nobody in the village is using shoes, but one interpreted it and said nobody is using shoes, therefore no business prospect. The other one said nobody is using shoes, therefore there's a higher business prospect. So therefore it is not the information that matters. How you interpret the information, how strategic you are, right? In interpreting your information and the data. Now that is where the people factor comes in. You must have intelligent people. You must have good strategists who has the knowledge and intelligence to convert data information into value. Right? Now that is something that the systems can't do. Systems can't do that. It has to be done by the people. So therefore, remember, you can have a lot of systems to gather information, have a reliable database, that's all fine. But what really matters end of the day is how well you interpret those information, how well you analyze those and convert it into strategic decisions. Okay? CRM benefits can only be reaped when skilled people use information in the customer database to develop strategies and tactics to improve customer profitability. So it's more towards how the people interprets the information and develop profitability. So therefore, remember this very well. There's no point gathering information unless you can interpret. Okay. So before we move, right, customer segmentation and targeting. Now this is how you identify the customers. Right? So now we said we want to look at the customers and identify them. And one of the methods in identifying the customer is to go and identify each individual. So you go to each individual, you talk to individuals and try to identify them. Now that is possible when there is a small number of customers. The next one is that you don't try to understand the people, you offer something for them. They don't talk to them at all. What is in the middle is that you identify that there's a large number of customers. Let's group them with similar behavior. So you group the customers, you identify their requirements, which is common to that group, and then try to serve those. So segmentation comes there. So segmentation says, okay, divide the total potential customers into groups of similar requirements, similar behavior patterns, and try to understand them as a group and develop products or solutions to them. And then when you are doing that, you target only the ones that you can earn profits and profitable segments. So we will discuss about customer segmentation in detail, but for our understanding, according to well-known empirical Pareto principle, it is assumed that 20% of the company's customers generate 80% of the profits. Okay? So 20% of the customers generate 80% of the profit. So in that case, it is important for you to understand, if you don't look after this 20%, then you are risking 80% of your profit. Although you have looked after the 80% of the others, you are only safeguarding 20% of your profit. So therefore, it is important that you segment your customer base and identify different segments, and then understand which customer belongs to this 20%. So there are several things you can look at: account average balance, activity records, service usage level, customer profitability, relationship period, payment patterns. Now these are things you can look at in identifying these customers. So we are not going to go into details in terms of segmentation, because we are going to handle it in a different lesson. Now let me ask you a very important question. Now I talked to you about profitability, and I told you customer relationship management is all about having profitable customers. Then some of you may come and tell me, so why not we get rid of the unprofitable customers? Why not we get rid of the unprofitable customers? Okay, let me pose that question to you. What do you think about this, and what are your suggestions? So I will give you some time to think about this. Now we are closing almost 10 o'clock. So we will have a small break. Right? I know you are bored listening to me for 2 hours. So we'll have a small break now. So let's have about 20 minutes. Right? So during the 20 minutes, you have something to think. Think about this particular statement. Should we get rid of the unprofitable customers, or is there anything else that we can do? What your suggestion, right? So we'll meet after 20 minutes. That is, now it's 9:57, almost 10. So 10:20, we will resume the session, right? So 10:20, we'll resume the session. By that time, I prefer if you can give me some feedback on this particular question as well. Okay, so let's take a break. Right, welcome back. So at the closure of the presentation, I asked a question, but before we proceed further, I would like to know whether you will see these two presentations. One presentation you will see as one presentation you will see customer relationship management. Other presentation you will see marketing mix. Just want to know from you whether you see both presentations. Dekama peenawada? Mada chat එකේ උත්තර දෙන්න dekama peenawada කියලා? Yes or no? If you can see both presentations, please say yes. If you can't see, say no. Yes, okay. Thank you, Champika. So we will move on to the session we have been having. The question was let us get rid of unprofitable customers. What do you think? Okay, I would like to ask your views. Okay, shall we have some comments from you? What do you think? What do you think, Kwabe? All of you are listening, I hope. Okay, tell me, it doesn't have to be right, but you can tell me what you feel. Mohidani, if you find unprofitable customers, shall we close their accounts?
No, sir. We have to deal with the unprofitable customers.
You have to deal with them.
Yeah.
Deal means what?
We should not. We should continue the businesses with them.
Okay. but you are making losses too.
So at this point, it will be losses to us, but future, those customers will make profits to our organization.
Okay, how can you say very surely that the customer is now a loss, but in time to come he will generate profits?
It depends on the different situations, depend on the customer. Thinking about the profitable customer, when we say if the profitable customer lost to the bank, but we have to look for the unprofitable customers, because getting new customer is very difficult task, and making profitable with the existing customer is task that we can use very easily than the taking new customers.
Right. Okay. So Champika has a good point there. Although a customer is not profitable right now, we should not break the relationship. But over a period of time, customer can become profitable. What about others? What do you think? Anyone else who wants to contribute? We have Suranga. Suranga is silent for a long time. Can someone else also add to? Yeah, Suranga.
At present, that customer may be unprofitable for us, but we have to think not only the profit and the relationship and the history he had with us. Sometimes discontinue that customer, he make a negative word of mouth for our bank, and he will seize new customers, profitable customers, even we can't think of. He may be the barrier for us for the future. Discontinuing that customer, he will definitely bring the negative word of mouth for the bank.
Right. Okay. So Suranga has looked at it in a totally a different perspective. Now, can any one of you share me a practical example that you may have faced in dealing with a unprofitable customer, and how you all have converted into profitable customers? Anyone having any kind of a practical example to talk to me on this subject? Unprofitable customers and how they have either made profits to you back, or how you have converted them, something like that. Any practical stories? Yes.
I have a practical experience. Actually, one of our customer, he's only having one account. He is not a profit-making customer, but he acted as an advocate for the customers. He bought a lot of customers for the bank, profitable customers. So I think even loss-making customers may bring us profitable customers we cannot think of.
Right. Suranga has a good point. What Suranga says is, okay, you have to look at the whole matter in a broader sense. So customer may be not profitable, but he will eventually bring in, if he is an opinion leader or an advocate, he will bring in a lot of profitable customers to you. So end of the day, although you don't get direct profit from him, indirectly you have profited from the relationship, right? So you have not profited from the customer directly, but indirectly from the relationship, you have profited a lot, right? Anyone else who has similar stories? I have a similar story. There was a friend of mine who has been a branch manager of a particular bank, and he used to tell me that in his area he has a lot of garments, right? So these garments, they have 200, 300 employees or 100, obviously more than 100 employees, but their salary scales are very low. So one day I asked him, why you are not touching any of these employees and increasing your account base? He said, see, I don't want to get these people coming into my bank and crowding my ATM, so that the ATMs will be crowded. People will not be able to access to the account. These are not profitable customers. They are getting a very low salary, and they will just move away, right? I mean, whatever the salary comes, within 2-3 days, they will not be with us. It will go away, and therefore no point, no average balance to maintain. So basically, he has avoided this whole large amount of customers without opening accounts and trying to discourage them to come into the bank, thinking that they are unprofitable customers. So then later I told him, see, look at the thing differently. You go to these people, open accounts with them, and tell them to save a little amount of money into a savings builder. So I gave him this concept, and I also told him, see, sometimes you might be able to get some other facilities like the pawning if you get these clients. So with my advice, he actually did this. He went to these garments and he opened accounts, and then he told them the value of savings and told those girls to open savings build-ups and transfer funds every month. And he said that was a very successful strategy. And he said there were a lot of people who opened the savings build-up, and then it became a habit to them, so that they started transferring that fund and as well as some more money into it, because once you get into the habit, you get that feeling of the tendency to do more and more deposits to increase your savings base, and you feel happy that when your savings base increase. So he said that it worked. And on the other side, he said he also benefited from the gold loans, that is the owning, and he was very happy about it. So if you look at customers as unprofitable customers and think narrowly and put them away, you will never be able to attract any client. You can't do like that, right? So you have to attract the clients. Maybe they are not profitable at the initial stage, but if they have the potential, over a long period of time, they will really become profitable. For another example is that when we take clients for cards or credit the bank, we look at their profession. Now, if the applicant is a professional, for example, a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, at the initial stages, they will not get much of a salary, not get much of an income. But we generally nurture the relationship. We give them a good limit of credit limit for a credit card. We go behind them and open accounts. And at the initial stage, they may not be very profitable to you. But over a period of time, these professionals will start earning money, and they will eventually become profitable to you, because they are the people who are stable and who have the spending power or the income. So there are a lot of stories like that to talk about. The people who have just joined in as entrepreneurs, who doesn't have much of an income, but over a period of time, after supporting them, they become big business people. Now, people who are not keeping any deposits with you, who have started savings build-ups, and who thank you as well for inculcating savings habits. And sometimes a small boy who comes to you, who is not very profitable at the initial stages of his employment, becoming a top executive at a time and becoming very profitable. So there are a lot of stories we can talk of. Therefore, remember, although in the CRM it says get rid of the unprofitable client, it doesn't mean for you to look at it in a very narrow sense and get rid of the clients without making any effort. Without making any effort. It is telling you, identify the unprofitable clients and see how you can convert them into profitable clients. So this particular thing, it says profitable relationships. What it says is not to destroy or break the relationship. It's telling you, look at how you can convert unprofitable relationships into profitable relationships. Maybe directly or indirectly, or by using your strategies. There is nothing called you have to maintain an unprofitable relationship for a longer period of time. I know a certain bank which has taken certain crucial decisions to get rid of some clients who had large turnovers but no profits. But the moment they got rid of them, they were able to increase their profits and do better. There are incidents like that, but that should be your last option. That should be your last option. As managers, as marketers, we are not there to get rid of clients. We are there to get the clients, improve the profitability, and convert non-profitable clients or unprofitable clients into profitable clients using our strategic thinking. Now, that is where the real banker comes into play. The real banker is a person who grows with the client. So you make the client grow, and you help the client to grow, and you will grow with the client. Your business will grow with the client. So that should be our attitude. Not to look at, okay, let's take all the unprofitable clients, get rid of them. No, that's not the way. Right? So take the list of unprofitable clients and ask a question from you: how can I convert this client into a profitable client? What should be my strategy? Right? So if you can do that, then you are a real banker. Right? Other thing, getting rid of clients, anybody, you don't have to do a postgraduate diploma to do that. Even a guy who has not passed O levels can get rid of clients. Okay? So that should not be the way. So as a banker, you have to see how to convert them and try to help the customers in order to change their behavior patterns so that they become profitable to you, and they will also benefit from you. Like the example I told you about the savings build-up concept introduced to those garment girls who actually thanked later for introducing that, because generally they're supposed to spend whatever they earn and very low savings. But when you inculcate the habit of savings, their lives also will become better with that. Right? So likewise, you have to have this mind, grow with the customer, let the customer grow, help him to grow, right? And advise him, give him support, help him to grow. And when he grows up, when he grows with his business, you will also grow your profits from the customer. Right? So that is something for you to remember. Right. Next one. Capitalizing on relationships. It is 5 to 10 times more expensive to acquire a new customer than obtaining repeat business from an existing customer. Now, this is again from the Customer Relationship Management book, March 2001 edition by Paul Gray and John Byrne. Right? So you see that everyone will come to your organization, but they will become suspects. They will join your organization, but very few will go through this tunnel. Right? So your task is to get the people, the potential customers, into your bank and see how you can capitalize with the relationship and convert them into prospects and increase the profits with the relationship. Now, having said that, you have to also understand the concept of satisfaction of the customer. Now, basis of relationship is nothing else but the customer satisfaction. So if the customers are satisfied, they will remain with you. If the customers are not satisfied, they will not remain with you. So if you want to make a relationship going, you have to make sure that you satisfy the customers. That is the basis of the relationship. If the customers are not satisfied, no matter how big your bank, they will just leave, right? So basis of customer relationship management is customer satisfaction. So making the customer satisfied and managing the overall customer experience is crucial for you to build relationship and capitalize on the relationship. Now, this is where we talk about customer service. This is where we talk about service quality, right? Service quality, right? So the service quality has a very direct relationship with the satisfaction. Now, that is research proven. There has been a lot of research done on service quality, and it was proven that service quality has an impact on customer satisfaction, and customer satisfaction has an impact on customer loyalty and the relationship. So therefore, in order to build a CRM program in your organization, or to have that philosophy of CRM running, you have to look at managing the overall customer experience. Now, overall customer experience means the experience that your customers get at each touch point of your organization. Each touch point of your organization. Main delivery channels. Now, if you look at a bank, the main delivery channels can be identified as the branch, the internet banking, right? The ATMs, the telephone banking, right? So main delivery channels. Right? So they will go to your branch, and you have to make sure that his moments that he spent in the branch is positive, and he's satisfied, and he has a positive experience. Then if he goes to the internet to do his banking, there also you have to have e-service quality. Now there's something called e-serve call, which we will learn, e-service quality. So even the managing the customer experience, user experience in the web arena is crucial to keep the customer satisfaction towards your branch, towards your bank. Now, that is why you talked about user experience, right? So if you talk to digital marketing or digital space, you will hear these words: user experience, interface, creating interfaces that the users find it very soothing and basically simple, and at the same time making the activities simple, giving them demonstration, giving them support. There are a whole lot of ideas and theories behind developing a website and internet banking as well. So that you can talk about digital, under digital CRM. We will cover that in a different session, right? So they should get a better experience when it comes to the internet banking in the digital arena as well. Now there's another one which has come in, that is a digital banking. Under that you find a lot of applications, mobile apps, right? Where you use, what you use. So that also has to have a better experience. Then the call center, another major touch point, right? So the customers will call your call centers, and the call center experience also has to be very positive, right? So likewise, a customer experience doesn't mean an experience that we get coming to your branch, but the overall experience that he will get in dealing with your bank, Now that is a combination of the experience he'll get when he visits your branch, when he do his online banking, when he use your mobile app, or when he calls your call center, right? Now all these in combination will generate the overall experience towards the service that he gets from your bank, and that's what will generate the satisfaction or dissatisfaction of the customer. So therefore, in the customer relationship management arena, you have to look at the whole the experience of the customer in a holistic manner, and manage the entire delivery channel or the customer touch points to make sure that your customer will have a better experience in dealing with your bank, right? Now that is crucial. If you don't do that, you will not be able to retain the customer, because remember, for the customer, it is not a branch, card center, treasury, international. No, he's not looking at in silos, but he's looking at it, your bank as a bank, right? Now that is why we most of the time say, when someone calls you and say, I want to get this done. You can't say, okay, we don't know, sir. We are not handling that, sir. That is handled by someone else, right? That is handled by this department, by that department. Right? For the customer, it doesn't matter. Right? For the customer, it's the bank, right? So therefore, a bank who wants to run an effective CRM program should make sure that they manage the overall customer experience rather than trying to manage customer experience in silos, whereas one branch is trying to look at the experience with the branch, and when the customer calls the call center, it is a different experience. Then doesn't matter how good you are, the customer will not be satisfied. You can't do as an institution without looking at the overall experience and all touch points. So when you are managing customer experience, you have to remember customer loyalty is the end result that you will require, you will see. Now, even in the CRM, I told you, the aim of the CRM is to convert a prospect, or in that case, you can say suspect or prospect, into an advocate. Now, that happens with the with intense loyalty. Right? Now, loyalty is a different concept. Right? Loyalty is that you are with the organization, whatever happens. Right? You have a strong binding towards the organization. Now, loyalty happens when the customers are satisfied with your service over a period of time. Right? So he has been getting consistently good service from your bank, and he's consistently happy with your service over a period of time. As a result of that, they develop a positive attitude towards your bank, which will generate loyalty towards the bank. So the basis of customer loyalty is continuous, consistent satisfaction created. Now, consistent, continuous satisfaction comes through quality, right? And quality needs to be improved based on customer feedback, and there has to be support, services, and so much of other things coming in order to develop the loyalty level. So in very simple terms, service quality has an impact over satisfaction. Satisfaction for a continuous period of time, consistent satisfaction will generate customer loyalty, and customer loyalty is what is expected through the CRM program. And when there is loyalty from the customer, that customer is a customer who cannot be grabbed by your competition easily, and at the same time he's a customer who will share more of his wallet with you and bring in more customers to you. Right? So managing the overall customer experience is crucial to achieve customer loyalty. Right. Now, what are the ways of customer, what are the ways that you can retain a customer through CRM? Continuous improvement in customer service. Now, customer service is a crucial thing because if the customer service is what makes the experience of the customer positive or negative. It doesn't matter how good your products are, but it all matters how you present your service to the customer. Right? Service recovery strategies. Under service recovery strategies, you talk about the strategies, how you can rebuild a relationship when the relationship is damaged due to a mistake done by your organization. Then focused frequency loyalty program. Right? Now this is where you look at the customer and reward his behavior. Right? Now in a loyalty program, you are rewarding the behavior of the customer and influencing the behavior. For example, if you go to Keels, they say, okay, you can earn 1 point for every 100. Now, let's take for example, right? 1 rupee, 1 point for every 100. So that tells you spend more hundreds and earn more points. And also you find, okay, for loyalty customers, special discounts for Nexus customers, so on and so forth. So that tells you, okay, if you are a loyalty member, here is a special discount, and as a result of that, you can buy that. Right? So they make you buy more they direct your behavior to buy certain products, giving special discounts, and they make you feel that dealing or buying from Keels is beneficial for you compared to other places. Even for example, if you ask me, okay, buy some stuff, some expensive thing, where do you want to buy? I would say I go to Keels and buy. And somebody will ask, okay, why you want to go to Keels or to Arpico and buy? Because I will say, okay, even if I spend 20,000, 50,000 rupees for this, I will earn some points, right? So that I can use later. So therefore, I am going there. Now, if there is no point program, why do you want to go in search of a Arpico or a Keels? You can buy from you can buy from the corner shop. You can buy from any shop. Okay, order shop paying I Keels ma Arpico moyagane. Keels ma Arpico moyagane. Order shop paying you don't get the loyalty points. So that's you're losing, right? You're losing 1 rupee for every 100. That means 1 rupee for every 100. You are losing. So what do? You go in search of a Keels or a Arpico so that you get 1 rupee for every 100 you spend, instead of you buying from normal places. We say, okay, now let's take everything at once from one of the supermarkets, because you get loyalty points. So loyalty programs, directly or indirectly, actually drives your behavior to go to that particular loyalty program supplier. Or like for example, if the Keels is having his program to Keels or to Arpico, Arpico has privilege points, Keels have Nexus points, Cargills also have some reward point program. So you are indirectly driven to those suppliers or the vendors, because you know that if you use your card there, or if you have your spending there, you get points. So that you are you don't buy anything from anywhere else. You always try to go there and buy. So it is directing you. They are putting certain discounts only for loyalty members. So that what happens? You generally maybe you don't want to buy, but you see this discount and you tend to buy. So what is happening? They are directing your behavior. They are directing you to buy certain products. So loyalty programs also influence behavior of the customer and keep them tied up with you. Keep them tied up with you because they don't want to lose their loyalty points, and they feel happy about it, right? They like to collect points. So it keeps people binded with your organization. Then you can have reward programs, right? That is, if you achieve a certain usage, if you reach a certain level of transactions, you get rewards, right? Now I remember based on the usage levels, Arpico has silver, gold, and platinum cards, right? And the discount, the point accumulation is different from each card, and you get a higher accumulation when it comes to higher card, something like that. And so it's a reward. So if you reach that level of usage, you get a reward. Or else you can say, okay, everybody who exceeds 100,000 usage, your card fee will be waived off. Or else you might say, okay, if you have a 1 million deposit, if you put a 1 million deposit, you will get a traveling bag. Reward programs. So reward programs also helps you to keep the customers loyal to you, or basically keep the customers engaged with you, right? Sometimes some people think of innovative strategies out of the box. All those are fine, but what we have seen is traditional gifts still has a major role to play in Sri Lanka, right? So if you have gift scheme and if you announce that, you will find still there is a good response for gifts. Right? People like to have this little bit of mugs, right, and then these traveling bags and stuff like that, because they are more willing to go for a gift by and they value that, right? So therefore, a gift program, reward program, also helps you to keep your customers happy and with you. Then the customization. That is, over a period of time, based on the customer, perhaps let's say that one of your top customers, you might do customization. You might differ from the published rates. You might differ from the published products, features, and give him some customized offers, customized features, customized rates, so that you be able to make him feel that he has been treated personally and the products have been customized. Then the next one is community building. Now, community building is that you build a community about your products. For example, you have Harley Davidson Club. Now they have a ride every year, right? And even if you look at Mercedes-Benz has his own Mercedes-Benz Club. Now they organize events which is exclusively for their members, and then they have the meetings going on. They have their clients having their own association, right, who actually give suggestions and then give feedback. Now there's a community build around the product, right? So it's a club, right? So the people who are driving Mercedes cars, Mercedes-Benz Club. People who are driving Harley Davidson bikes, Harley Davidson Club, right? So they go like that. So therefore, these are some other concepts which you can develop. So you can develop concepts like a community where they have interaction, where there will be some engagement with the organization and the peer customers, similar customers, so that they enjoy staying with you. They enjoy staying with you. So these are some of the strategies we can think of in terms of retention. Right? Now, then again, it's important for you to know that customer relationship management gives you a competitive advantage. Now, what is the competitive advantage? Relationship management gives you a relationship which cannot be copied or which cannot be replicated by your competitor in a shorter time or even in the long run, because relationships are unique. You cannot replicate it, but the other person can build a new relationship, but not your one, right? So your one is very unique. So if you develop relationships, your competitors will find it very difficult to break those and to copy those. It is very difficult. If you build buildings, you take machines, if you take technology, right, all these can be matched, all these can be replicated by your competitors. You come up with a new technology, they will come with the new technology. You come up with a new product, they will come with new products. You do a change, they also will do the change. You change the rate, they'll also change the rate. So competitors will do anything that you do. They can replicate. They come and say, me too, I also have that. Come to me. But one thing that they cannot replicate or they cannot copy is the relationship. Now that is why most of the time you find some of the customers, when you go to meet them and tell them to come to your bank, they say, we are unable to come because we have been looked after by my bank already. Or they will say, my bank has helped me to come up to this level. When I was very young, when I was starting my business, they helped me. Now I can't leave them and come to you. Now, very difficult to take them. Very difficult to take. And they will say my bank. Why are they saying my bank? That shows the loyalty. Mage banko velada. Customer කියන්නේ බැංකුව කියන්නෙත් නෑ, මගේ බැංකුව දාලා එන්න බෑ. මගේ බැංකුව තමයි මාව බලාගත්තේ. මගේ බැංකුව තමයි මට උදව් කරේ. මම දාලා එන්නේ නෑ. So they are very much stick to the bank. They say, okay, මම අවුරුදු ගානක් ඉන්නවා, මට හොඳ service එකක් දෙනවා. They are giving me a superb service. Why should I come to your bank? I can't come. Sometimes when you go to meet clients, you may have heard this practically. So this is the relationship management that we are talking about, right? So they have managed that relationship so well, so that the customer has now become a highly loyal customer, that this loyal customer will not leave the bank for just small interest benefits or any other thing. For them to leave, there has to be something really big to happen. It's like that you are married and you don't get separated for small things, but something big happens, then you might divorce, right? So similarly, the customers are now married with the bank. There's a relationship. They will not just go away. They're not girlfriends and boyfriends. These are married couples, right? The customer and the bank is now married. So they are going to stay with all the difficulties. They will fight with each other. They will shout at each other, right? But they will get sad. They will get mad. But still they recover. They will stay. But something really big happens, they will divorce. Other than that, despite the fact that there are certain service issues or recovery strategies being going, they will not just leave. So you will find that you are having a huge competitive advantage if you build strong relationship with your customers, because they will stay with you despite the small rate benefits or the services and the benefits offered from other banks, because they have a strong relationship. ඒකෙම වෙනවා. ඒක අපි ඕන තරම් ප්‍රැක්ටිකලි දැකලා තියෙනවා. ඒක නිසා මතේ තියාගන්න, CRM is a method to develop sustainable competitive advantage. what sustainable කියන්නේ කාලයක් පවත්නා නේ. අද තියෙන හෙට නැති වෙනවා නෙමෙයි. කාලයක් පවත්නා sustainable competitive advantage, right? Right. Now we discussed about CRM. We know what it is and all sort of things. Now, one of the biggest challenges the CRM programs face is that people will ask, okay, what is ROI? How do you measure the success of CRM systems? Now, look at this slide. It says, CFOs need to stop trying to get immediate ROI. CRM systems are large and complex. Changes in the corporate culture are required before they will work. CFO, Chief Financial Officer. CFOs should be thinking strategically, not small. Okay? And it says CRM is a long-term investment. Whether the organization becomes more customer-centric following the adoption of CRM practices is a question that can only be answered over the long term. So when organizations try to launch CRM programs, some of the narrow thinking people will come and ask you, okay, tell me how much you are going to earn out of this CRM program. Tell me what is the return, calculate and tell me. How long it will take? You give me the rupees and cents. See, when it comes to CRM, implementation of the CRM program, you cannot expect short-term returns. It's not buy and sell. It's not like spend and earn fast. It is a long-term investment. Now, I told you, CRM is a philosophy, not just a system. So it's a philosophy that need to be followed by each and every person in your organization. It is a culture that you need to build in the organization. It takes time. It takes time. Obviously, it takes time. You can't have a CRM program implemented today and ask tomorrow what is the profit. It takes time. So it influences the behavior of the organization. And then the organization will, over a period of time, become customer-centric. That means customer in the center. So everything they do, they will think of customer. Okay? So if the customer is comfortable, they will do it. Otherwise, they will not. If the customer will become loyal, they will do it. Otherwise, they will not. If the customer satisfaction increases, they will do it. Otherwise, they will not. If the loyalty level improves, they will do it. If not, they will not do it. So they are more customer-centric. So that will happen over a period of time after adopting the CRM practices. So you have to invest on CRM. There's no doubt about it. But don't ask what is the profit in a very short period. CRM profits will come over a period of time. It will come gradually, and you will not see it directly. It will be reflected with the reduction in retention ratio, in customer turnover, that is increased retention ratios, increased market share, increase customer loyalty, customer equity, right? So so you cannot measure CRM success with the one measurement. You have to measure the related areas like your brand value, your customer base, improvement in customer base, improvement in retention ratios, improvement in market share. So likewise, you have to look at several other indicators and see how successful your CRM program is. But what you need to understand very simply, CRM is a long-term investment. It is not a short-term thing, right? So in the long run, looking at several other key performance indicators, you will see what you have implemented has given results or not. One of the key barriers when you are trying to launch a CRM program. They say, okay, give me a cost benefit analysis, tell me profits. How to tell? It takes time, right? So once it takes time, over a period of time, you can certainly see the benefits of CRM. Right. So I'm sure now you understand what it is. Now I would like to ask you a simple question and give you some time. Now now you have learned all the whole entire thing. Now can you write on the chat, each one of you, basically 5 benefits of CRM. 5 benefits of CRM. I would like each one of you to write or speak and tell 5 benefits of CRM. I'll give you 5 minutes to do that, or less than 5 minutes. If you finish earlier, that is better, right? Right. Okay. So the time starts now. As a summary, write down 5 benefits of CRM to an organization. You can use the chat, or else if you want to speak and tell the 5 benefits, you can do that as well. Right. Okay. 5 minutes starts now. It's important you do this, right? I will make sure that every one of you do. Right. 4 minutes grown. So let me look at the chat. One person has responded. So Sachin says increases the effectiveness of cross and upselling products, increases customer loyalty, discover new customers and retain them. CRM can also help to enhance optimize marketing. CRM helps to generate high ROI in the long run. Karunath, opportunity to cross-sell and upsell, increase profits, increasing customer retention, increasing, I suppose, customer retention ratio, making loyalty customers sustainable of the bank. How about the others? Yes, Suranga.
Yeah. First one is it's customer retention strategy, and also it can attract new customers, and it's give competitive advantage for the company. It reduce customer complaint, and it smooth the complaint handling process. Cost-effective communication tool.
Okay. Right. So 3 of them has responded. How about others? Karunaratna has responded, Sachin, and then Suranga. Others? Yes, Champika.
Yeah, we can say in two ways. Them in profitable, in there is in a customer side as well as in a bank side. In bank side, we can increase profitability and increase the customer base and increase the to identify the market behaviors as at that bank side. In customer side, if we can give if we are doing a better customer relation management, he can improve his lifestyle in customer. Basically, I think individual customer lifestyle as well as the if he's doing a business, we can say he can increase the business procedures also by giving the opinions to customers. And otherwise, is overall marketing cost can be reduced by maintaining good customer relationships.
Yeah, good answer. I have another 2 answers. Improve profits, possible to introduce products by identifying real customer needs and wants. Improve profits at lower cost. Improve the customer loyalty, able to expand the customer base. Right, good. Right, so all of you have come up with some good answers. The Apparan also has written great efficiency for multiple teams. That of course. Apparan, can you explain what is this? Improved analytical data and reporting. Tapan, you need to make it more focused to the question. Question is, what are the benefits of the CRM? So you have written 2 things, but I'm unable to relate it to the question. Would you like to explain it further, Tapan? Okay, so Tapan will improve his answer. Right, let me do a summary of the whole thing once for you, and then we'll wind up and go to the other areas. Now, what we will do is, you understand, you have organizations. No? So we say company. Right? All of you can see this? Can all of you see this? What I write?
Yes.
Right, you can see it. Right, okay. So you have companies. Now there are people who have invested for these companies. Right? So we call them investors. I will write I, right? I. These are investors. Investors. So they put money to these companies and they establish companies, right? So they have a requirement. What is the requirement? They have a requirement to have a return for their investment. Return for investment. Return for investment, right? Now, how this return is coming? The company needs to earn profits, and out of the profits, they give you dividends. Are we clear with this? We are clear. Now, this is what is happening in a normal scenario, right? Now, then the keyword here is the profits. Right? Now, how can you earn profits? Now, to earn profits, you need to have business. I would say turnover, right? Now, who generates business? Business is generated by customers. Business is generated by customers. And there is another factor here, that is, there are influences from competitors. See, competitor. Am I right? Competitors. So they try to grab your business. They try to grab your customers, right? So they always try to grab your business and grab your customers. If this happens, then it will have an impact on profits, right? So if your customer base goes down and if your business goes down, your profits will also go down. If your customer base goes up and if your profits goes up, business goes up, your profits will also go up. This is a simple thing, right? So now we understand what is the endpoint. Endpoint is the customer. So you find there is nothing called business if there is no customer. There is nothing called profits if there is no business and if there is no customer. There is nothing called dividends if there is no profits, no business, no customer. There is nothing called return on investment. There is no profits, business, customer. If there is no return on investment, investors will not invest in company. So for entire chain to work, you have to manage your customers, right? So these customers you need to acquire and retain. Now, both these is looked at under CRM. Both these is looked at under CRM. And at the same time, you have to also protect your customers by putting a firewall, right? And that is also addressed by CRM. So CRM is addressing acquiring profitable customers, retaining profitable customers, and protecting your customers, right? So eventually you find that CRM is addressing the most important part of the business, that is managing customer relationships. Right? Now, under CRM is looking at customer loyalty. Customer loyalty. Right? So the CRM's aim is to get a prospect, a person who has no idea about your company, and convert him into a loyal advocate, right? So that is the whole thing that they're looking at. So when you look at this and then develop these type of customers, there are several benefits, right? So we talked about benefits, few things. What is that? Your profits will increase. Agree? Then how does this increase? This is increased through repeat business, cross-selling, upselling, this from existing clients, and then new referrals, new clients. More share of wallet. These are things. Then what is the other one? You will have competitive advantage. Will have a competitive advantage. That means your competitors will not be able to capture your clients because your relationships are very strong. Because you look after your clients and you don't allow them to basically take away from your clients because you are a very proactive person. So your profits will increase, the competitive advantage will increase, more share of wallet, things like that, right? So this is a summary of it. This is a summary of it, right? And then basically, because CRM is looking at customer loyalty, which is a very strong point, then this actually will lead to higher customer equity. Higher customer equity. What is higher customer equity? Total amount of customer lifetime value that your organization has. Okay? So customer will stay for a longer time with you. As a result of that, his lifetime value with your organization is high. He will generate profit for a longer period for you. So therefore, you will have a higher customer equity than your competitors. So in summary, this is what we have been discussing all this time. So out of this, you can write the benefits of CRM, right? Right, okay. So I'm sure now you are very comfortable with what you have just learned. We will now have to look at another concept called customer value proposition, right? So let me explain it to you, the customer value proposition. So in 1980s, two American academic consultants, Michael Lening and Dr. Phillips, talked about this customer value proposition. Now, what they said is, the customer will look at two things: benefit and then the price. And then we'll decide the value we get in doing business with you. Now, this is a very simple thing, but very, very effective, very, very important for you to understand. Right? Now, He says, these two scholars said, the customer will not take a decision purely based on price. That is true. No? If a customer is making a decision purely based on price, then the customer will go to the lowest interest, the bank which is providing the lowest interest for loans and the highest interest for deposits. In that case, none of you will have any opportunity in the market, right? If you provide the highest interest, customer will come to you. If you provide the lowest interest for loans, customer will go to that particular bank. The question is very simple. But is it happening in that way? That is not the case, right? So all of us know that we have different interest rates. Some banks have a higher rate, some banks have lower rates, right? So obviously there is a comparison in the market. Even to the loans, it's the same. Right? Some banks give a slightly higher rate, some banks give slightly lower rate. So there's a chat. Are you seeing upside down? Reverse. Again, ඔයගොල්ලන්ට පේන්නේ value මේ පැත්තටද පේන්නේ? අනිත් පැත්තටද පේන්නේ? Okay, right. That means I can't use the board, no? If I use the board, you will not be able to see. Am I right? So Champika says, I can see the correct way. How about others? Suranga?
No, so there is a mirror effect, I think. If something
You
we
are
see,
also getting it the other way, right?
yes.
Okay. So let me now not try to, if you can ping up the screen.
There is a ping icon on the small windows.
Huh?
There is a ping icon on the small window. He wants to ping that.
Okay, give me a second, right?
No, so that should be done from his side.
Okay. Something has went wrong with this. Now I can see Karunaratna only. I can't see myself also. Right, okay. Now ping icon එක පේන්නේ මේ student එකද මටද?
So student මේනවා සර් දකුණු පැත්ත පැත්තේ පොඩි window එකේ ඒකට point කරනකොට ping icon එක pop up වෙනවා. ඒ උඩ ක්ලික් කරපුවාම මේන් වින්ඩෝ එකට ඒ පොඩි වින්ඩෝ එක තියෙනක මේ එනවා සර්. ඒකට බලන්න පුළුවන් යාට.
right. එතකොට මේ කවුද මේ පේන්නේ කියපු කවුද මේ සචින් පොඩ්ඩක් කරලා බලනවද වැඩේ හරියනවද? සචින් එක කරලා බලුවද හරි කියලාද ඔයාලට? got it now. දැන් පේනවද හරියට පේනවා. දැන් අනික් අයට කවුරුන්ට පේන්නේ නැති අයට දැන් හදාගත්තද? දැන් බෝඩ් එක පේනවද කට්ටියට? right. සචින්ට හරි. වෙන කාටද තිබ්බේ? right. මට කියන්නේ චම්පිකට හරිද වැඩේ? චම්පිකට පේනවද බෝඩ් එක correctly?
Yes, sir, I can see correct.
okay. සුරංගට පේනවද? සුරංගට
Yes, I can see.
හරි. එතකොට ජයවරුනි ජයවරුනි කාර්ය පෙරුම පේනවා. right. okay. කරුණාරත්නට පේනවා කියන්නේ කරුණාරත්න කියලා දුන්නේ. සචින්ට පේනවද? සචින් හරිනේ හරි කියලා දැම්මනේ. හරි. Tayaparan, now how about you?
Yes, sir. Yes.
You also can see. All right. Then I can use the board. Right. Good. Okay. So what we were discussing about the customer value proposition. So we said basically, I was trying to tell you. Right. So they were telling the customers will not only look at the price. Right? So if they are only looking at the price, then they will go only to the place where they get the lowest interest for loans and highest interest for the deposits. Similarly, they will buy only the products that has the lowest value. The customers are not looking like that. Customers are looking at both benefit and the price. Both benefit and the price, not one, right? So they will look at what is the benefit that I get from banking with a particular bank, or in a normal scenario by going and dealing with a particular company, and they look at the total benefit, and they look at the other side and say, ask the question, okay, what is the price I would pay in getting this benefit? And then by looking at the benefit and the price trade-off, they will say, okay, I get this type of value from this organization. So then for the customer, value means the total benefit he gets from the organization minus the total amount of money that he has to spend to get that benefit. And then he will decide, okay, this is the value that I get. And it is said, if you are getting more value, A bank is more than value B bank, then the customer will go to choice. Choice will be the A bank. So what it says is, customer will select over the competitors the bank or the organization in that context, in that case, that will deliver the highest value for him compared to the competitors. So he will go to the bank which provides him the highest value. So in this case, value given by, if the A bank value is higher than the value given by B bank, the customer's choice will be the A bank. So this is the concept that they are trying to explain with the customer value proposition, right? So this actually gave the people or the banks and the organizations to fight on differentiating benefits and not only with price. Otherwise, we have no other way, right? So we have only price to fight. So price increase or price reduce. But today we say, okay, don't touch price, because if you increase price and reduce price, it is very sensitive, it affects your profits. At the end of the day, pricing will eventually, if you reduce pricing, eventually it will affect the entire industry profitability. When Airtel came into the market, Dialog wanted to reduce prices. So they reduced the price. Airtel also reduced the price. So others also reduced the price. End of the day, entire industry has reduced the price. As a result of that, the entire industry is losing money. So if the banks try to do that, bank same thing. If the bank try to reduce the price, then okay, the bank A will reduce the interest rate, bank B will also reduce the interest rate, C will also reduce. End of the day, all the banks will reduce interest rates, and banks will lose interest margin, and but the customers will benefit. So if you fight with pricing, it is actually going to affect your profitability as an organization and as an industry. So therefore, fighting with price, differentiating price or reducing price is not an acceptable strategy to any marketer. Not an acceptable strategy to anyone. You should fight by differentiating the benefits that you offer. So you can offer more benefits to the customer, or differentiate the benefit and give him a higher value. Right now, the benefits they look is in different terms. Some people look at the utility benefit. Okay, right? Okay, how fast I can get this done? How can I get the value that I want? How easy it is? Okay, what are the features? What are the benefits you have? What are the features you have in this product? They are only looking at the tangible utility value, but some of them are looking at the sign value. Now, the prestige, the what others think about me if I bank with them, kind of things like that. Now, that is where some people talk about, okay, it's a prestige to have a check leave from this particular bank. Some people have this mindset, it is a prestige to deal with a foreign bank. Some people say, I want to deal with the #1 bank in the country. Now, those are people who are driven by the sign value, prestige, the respect, and then the acceptance by the society. So they are thinking, okay, what others will think if I use the services of this particular bank. If I use this, if I sometimes say, okay, right, okay, I want to use a credit card. I want to use a credit card of this particular bank, because when I take out the credit card and show to others, they will all feel, okay, I'm a customer of this particular bank. And some people say, okay, I want to use a checkbook of this bank. So the moment I write a check, they will feel, okay, I'm a part of this particular bank and I will get some prestige out of it. Now, this prestige factor, the recognition factor, what others think of me when I patronize this particular bank. Now, these are also things that you can add to the benefits. So benefits can be improved by giving more service, improving the brand value, right, and providing more convenience, right, and giving more features. Right? So there are so many ways to do it. So basically, you can differentiate your service from the others, right? Improving service quality, improving features, improving the efficiency, and then improving your brand value. So by doing all these things, you can differentiate and say to the people, okay, come to us, we give you a better benefit, we give you a higher benefit, right, to the price that you pay for us. So now they will look at both sides. For example, we know certain foreign banks offer lower rates to the deposits compared to local banks who offer higher rates. But some customers wants to go to foreign banks and invest money there. Now, you might wonder, okay, why should a person go and invest money at a lower percentage? For example, let's say 3%, whereas a local bank offers 5%. So why he wants to lose 2%? That is a factor that you need to look at from the other sides, the sign value. He will say, okay, fine, I may get a lower interest, but still I feel I have the pride of working with a foreign bank. I have the prestige of having an account with a foreign bank. Or you might say, okay, I have the prestige of traveling around the world and getting services from this particular foreign bank, and I won't get that from a local bank. Now, they're talking about the different benefits. So we are only looking at the rate. No, rate is not the problem. Now they are looking at a different context. Okay, I might go to Australia and I will go to this particular foreign bank and will get benefits. Let's say, for example, for our discussion sake, let's say HSBC Premier. So HSBC Premier, a customer might tell you, okay, if I have a HSBC Premier, I can go to the local bank in Colombo, get a good service. At the same time, if I go to Australia or any other country, I'll be treated as a premier customer by that country as well. So it's easy for me to travel around the world and as an international traveler to get my work done by having a premier account. Now, that is something that a local bank will not be able to offer compared to a foreign bank. So for that value, they might pay a higher price. So therefore, value is something for you. Somebody might say, okay, this is a local bank and I don't like to support local business. Therefore, I will patronize a Sri Lankan bank and not a foreign bank. So even though I am given a free credit card or even though I am given free facilities, I will still stay with local bank. Now that is going under benefit, nothing to do with the pricing. So they might pay a higher price to bank with a local bank or to stay with a local bank without going to a foreign bank because they value patronizing Sri Lankan organizations. Right? So similarly, the prestige factors. So those things will come. So benefit is something that you can really work on. You can really differentiate in order to improve, increase and decrease value. Right? So when you increase the benefits at the same price, value will increase. Right? And if you increase the benefits and reduce the price, value will increase. Likewise, you can work with this. So I would like you to take a small note of it. Right? So benefit minus price, value A bank higher than value B bank. The choice will be the A bank, and basically we can say this can be differentiated. Right? So benefit can change, right? So you can increase, decrease, and change the benefit. So once you change the benefit, that will have an impact on price, on value. You can also change the price, but it is not advisable to change the price. Right? It's not advisable to change the price. Right. So are you clear about it? I will upload a note on this, but I would like you to understand this whole concept that in customer choice, it's not only the price, but there's something called benefit. So benefit minus price is the value, and customer, when it comes to his choice, he will go to the organization that provides the highest value for him. Right? Okay, can I erase this? Can I erase this? All of you have taken a little note of it. So with this, you can draw a small diagram. Okay, you put more, less, more, less, high, low, high. You put value here. You put price here. Right. Now, what are the winning propositions? What are the winning propositions? You can stay here. What is this? High value, high price. Can you operate this model? High value, high price. Can you operate in this model? High value, high price. You can. What are the examples? Mercedes-Benz, BMW, Porsche. For banks, foreign banks like HSBC, who offers high value for high price, right? Or else the business class of an airline. So high value, high price. Rolex, high value, high price. Okay. Can you operate here low value or less value, low price? Low value, low price. Can you operate here? Can you develop a model under this? That is also possible. Now look at the budget airlines. Budget airlines, low value, low price, right? So they will not give you food, drinks, more leg space. They will not have those. You just go sit there, one destination to other, you will fly, but you won't get all the other benefits. So you have low value and your price is also low. Now one of the examples Sri Lanka had is the Mihinya, right? So Mihinya, they wanted to give people to travel to Dambadiva. Now there were a lot of people who says, we don't want to eat, we don't want to drink, we want to just go to Dambadiva to worship. Right? So they were given a budget airline. Nothing, no food, no drinks, just sit there, take off, land. But if you go to Cathay Pacific, Qatar Airways, Sri Lankan Airlines, normal services, it's not like that, right? You get food, drink, more leg space, but here nothing. Right? So there can be even banks where they will only give you the utility benefits, right? Also they know no other service, but still you might go because you will get a lower interest rate or some benefit on it. Low value, low price. Then you can also operate high value, low price. High value, low price. This is also possible. Right? So you give them a higher value, you give them more discounts, more value, and you give it at a lower price. Give it at a lower price. So the people will find that you are a superb organization. They will come to you. Sometimes you can do this as an entry strategy. Right? You provide a higher value for a lower price, so that everybody comes to you, and you will have a huge market share. Higher value at a lower price. That is also possible. So you find that this is possible, this is possible, this is possible. Now, then let me look at this. High price and low value. Low value, high. Low value, high price. Now, can you operate here? You give a low value to the customer, but you charge a higher price. This is a losing proposition. This is a losing proposition. You will not operate here for a longer time. You will perish. So Now you have seen several business models. You can operate giving high value, high price. You can operate giving high value, low price. You can still operate giving low value, low price. These all three is possible. But if you go to low value, high price, this is not possible. This is a losing proposition. You will perish very soon. So this is something you need to remember, right? So the task of you should be to increase the value that you give to the customer by increasing the benefits that you offer. One of the best methods to do that is to improve your service, because by giving a quality service and a higher service, you can make the customer feel convenient and more valuable. Customer will value your value dealing with you compared to competitors, right? But always remember, benefits, giving more value comes with more cost, right? So it has to be managed effectively, and the differentiation has to be done looking at customer requirements and the expectations. Otherwise, differentiating and improving to a level that the customer will not require, will not be happy, will not give you any advantage, right? So all in all, very simply, what I would like to tell you is that when it comes to attracting customers, remember, price is not the only answer. Customers will look at the benefits, total benefits offered, and the price that they pay, and then they look at the value that your bank will offer, and then they will compare the value that you offer with the competitors, and they will select the organization that provides the highest value. So therefore, you have two variables, that is price and benefits, to play with. And we said price is not a variable for you to touch, because it will eventually make all of you lose money. But benefit is something that you can increase and differentiate. So try to work on differentiating benefits in order for you to attract customers and to keep them with you over competitors. Now remember, you cannot keep relationships by offering inferior products. If you want to keep a relationship with the customer, obviously the value that you provide should be higher than the competitor. That's what we talked about, superior value, right? So therefore, don't think that you can operate in a level where you offer a lower value and still expect customer to stay with you. Right? So fundamentally, if you want to have a relationship going and a customer to stay with you, you need to make sure that you offer higher value compared to your competitors. Then only you will be able to continue the relationship, because your customers are not fools, no. So your customers are also rational people. So therefore, that is required for you to continue. Right. Now, having said that, another question that we need to understand is how we offer value and our particular service that we have to the customer, and what is the thing that we need to look at next. Okay, now that you understand value proposition, it's important that you understand about the marketing mix, right? So this is the marketing mix. So this marketing mix is talking to you about a very simple thing. See, I told you at the beginning, the concept of marketing is understanding and anticipating needs and wants of the customer and satisfying the need at a profit. Now, what are the basic needs? First one, how can I satisfy my need? Now I have a problem, that is I am hungry. How can I satisfy? So your answer for that is a product. Okay? It's a product. And the next question, satisfaction at what cost? The answer is price. Third basic question is how convenient it is for me to satisfy my need and basically fulfill my requirements. That is the place from where you can get the service or the product. Then what are the solutions available for my problem? How can I get information? Now that is where the promotion comes in. So traditional marketing mix is something that will deal with all these four variables: product, price, place, promotion. Right? Now you should not look at this as separate variables. These are all a bundle. These are all a bundle that is offered to the customer. Now when a customer is buying something, is not just buying product. Product එක විතරක් ගන්නවා. එහෙම වෙන්නේ නැහැ. So product එක විතරක් නෙවෙයි, you are looking at the price from where I can buy and what is this product information. Right? Now let's say that you want to order a pizza. Now you are looking at the product. Okay, pizza. What type of a pizza? Right? Okay, then you select the type. Then you ask the price. Okay, what is the price? Large එක කීයද, medium එක කීයද, small එක කීයද? Then the price. So product එක විතරක් නෙවෙයි බලන්න, product එකත් බලනවා, price එකත් බලනවා. දැන් මේ දෙකම ඔලුවට එනවා. ඊළඟට how convenient it is. කොච්චර ඉක්මනට ගෙන්න ගන්න පුළුවන්. Then what are the details? මොනවාද මේ promotions තියෙන්නේ? මොනවාද offers තියෙන්නේ? මොනවාද මේ pizza වල details, information. මේ ටික ඔක්කොම බලලා තමයි you take a decision. So none of the customers take decisions looking at one variable. Only product, only price, only place, only promotion. No. They look at this all four as a one bundle, one mix. So that is why we call marketing mix. And remember, what you offer to the market, is not only a product or a service. Product එක service තියෙන්නේ, product. But you offer this entire bundle to the market. You are not offering only a product. කවදාවත් ඒක එහෙම වෙන්නේ නැහැ. Not only a product. You always offer to the market all four in as a package. So we call it marketing mix. We call this package marketing mix. And we also call this market offering. And basically remember, your benefit of your product should not be looked at in silo, but you have to look at the benefit of the entire offering, which is valued by the customer. So customer is evaluating your entire market offering, not just one feature of it. So therefore your market offering need to be better than your competitors. So we say the company one has the market offering, that is product, price, place, promotion of company one, in our case bank one, and then the bank two has product, price, place, promotion. The customer will select the better product, better price, better place, better promotion. So therefore your marketing mix need to be better than the competitor. So your market offering need to be better than the competitor for them to grab or come to your organization. So we will have a little bit of an idea about the marketing mix during the next session. So I think we will wind up for today. So we have finished the first session, introduction to CRM, and as well as the customer value proposition. So next week we will move on to finish the customer, basically the marketing mix part that we need to learn, because those are all required for you to understand how you should approach a CRM program, and then move to the second topic of the syllabus. Okay, so we'll wind up for today. So give you some details about the exam. Exam will be prepared based on the syllabus, right? Based on the learning you will get in the classes. Don't worry too much about the exam. If you come to the classes properly, and if you listen to these discussions and stay with me, it will be easy for you to pass the exam, because I'll be covering entire things that you require for exam. So don't worry at all about the exam. But you have to worry about coming to the classes, listening to me, and trying to do the readings that we will upload. Now we will be uploading a reading material today, and we will be uploading the presentation also. So once you get that, just read and expand your knowledge, and whatever we discuss here, try to learn about that. Don't worry too much about exam. Exam will be prepared purely based on your syllabus, and entire whatever you need for the exam will be taught in the class, right? So that's simple as that. So it will be after 10 sessions, right? So the Kalinger or the IBSL officials will notify you about the dates about the exam. So you just have to participate. Exam, don't worry, it will only cover the syllabus and as well as what we offer to you as teachings. Right? Fine. So any other question? Otherwise, we can wind up for today and then meet up next week with the next session. Any other questions? Okay, since we do not have any questions, we will wind up for today. During the course of the week, we will upload more reading material. So try to read those and expand your knowledge so that we'll be able to have a better discussion next time. Okay, thank you very much. Have a nice day.